전기 작가 마걸린 리는 어느 날 한 통의 편지를 받습니다. 13번째 이야기로 유명한 소설가 비다 윈터가 자신의 전기를 써달라며 저택으로 초청한 것이었죠. 하지만 인터뷰 때마다 자신의 과거를 다르게 말해왔던 윈터. 마거릿은 그녀의 진정성을 의심하지 않을 수 없었습니다.
Good afternoon, Miss Lee. I'm Miss Winter's housekeeper. My name is Judith.
그래서 마거릿은 결심합니다. 전기를 쓰되 오직 사실에만 기반하겠다고 말이죠.
My first question, what is your real name?
Oh, I could easily bamboozle you there. It's Vida Winter. I had it changed by deed poll. What you really need to know is the name I was originally known by.
그렇게 시작된 인터뷰에서 처음으로 밝혀진 비다의 본명.
Adeline March.
하지만 아델린 역시 몇 가지 조건을 내걸었습니다.
What are they?
You must let me tell my story chronologically, no interruptions, no questions, and no sneaky peeping at the last page.
All right.
Good.
곧이어 이해하기 힘든 질문을 던지기 시작했죠.
Do you believe in ghosts?
That's not a very easy question.
Do you or don't you?
Certain kinds of ghosts, maybe.
I was brought up in a house about 5 miles from here. A haunted house.
I see.
No, you don't.
그리고 지금부터 아델린이 들려줄 이야기는 그녀 자신의 이야기이자 너무나 가혹하고 고통스러운 이야기입니다.
I was brought up in a house called Angelfield. When I was 17, there was a fire. The house was destroyed.
And there's a public record.
It was in all the local papers. And I can show you a different sort of record. The story begins at Angelfield.
아델린은 쇠락한 명문인 엔젤필드 가문에서 태어났습니다.
After the mysterious, unexplained death of their parents, the house now belonged to Charlie Angelfield and his sister Isabel. She'd left the house less than a year before, but her husband, Roland March, had been killed in the war, and now she returned. Of course, in their parents' day, there had been dozens of servants to run the estate, but now only 2 remained. Mrs. Dunn, the housekeeper, known to everyone as the Missus, and the gardener, John Digance, who we called John the Dig.
정확히 말하면 약 1년도 채 되지 않는 시간 동안 저택을 떠나 있었던 이자벨이 아이가 누구의 아이인지조차 모른 채 낳아 데려온 쌍둥이 자매 중 한 명이었죠.
What are they called?
Adeline and Emmeline.
Which one is which?
You know, I haven't the slightest idea.
한편 이자벨의 오빠 찰리는 정신적으로 매우 불안정한 인물이었습니다. 그리고 그는
You shouldn't have gone away for so long, Isabel.
동생이 오랫동안 집을 비웠다는 이유로 앙심을 품어
I had to, Charlie. I explained it all to you.
이자벨을 학대하려 했고
All the same.
그녀는 마치 이런 일이 처음이 아니라는 듯 오빠의 학대를 담담하게 받아들였죠. 문제는 저택으로 돌아온 이후에도 이자벨은 자매를 제대로 돌보지 않았다는 것.
I suppose we were shamefully neglected when we were children. No schooling, no discipline. We were so much on our own. We invented our own private language. Charlie and Isabel were so wrapped up in one another that the only people in our lives vaguely resembling parents were the Missus and John the Dig. But we did have each other, and we were all the world to one another. We couldn't imagine that anyone but ourselves really existed. I expect that's why we're so cruel. We weren't confined to the house and garden. We roamed all over the estate and did exactly what we felt like. We were the children from the big house. So they put up with us. Until the day we took Mary Jameson's baby.
메리 제임슨 유모차 사건 이후 지역 의사의 아내인 시오도라 모즐리 부인은 그 일에 대해 대신 따져묻기 위해 엔젤 필드로 찾아옵니다.
Good afternoon. Is your mother in? Perhaps I'll try the back door.
하지만 엔젤필드 남매가 사실상 방치하다시피 한 저택은 시오도라가 도착했을 무렵엔 이미 전쟁터를 방불케 할 정도로 완전히 엉망이 되어 있었죠.
Hello? Is anybody there?
What's the matter, Miss Winter?
It's just my wolf.
Wolf?
That's what I call it. Pills are meant to keep him at bay, but he comes a little earlier every day.
Is there anything I can do? Should we stop for the day?
No. He's just sniffing around. We mustn't encourage him. Now. Miss Lee, where were we?
Surely it must have been one of the children.
No, I told you. I saw the children out on the steps on my way in. No, it was a woman in white.
There's no woman in white in this house, Mum. You must have seen the ghost.
They do say Angelfield is haunted.
시오도라를 가격한 자가 누구인지 찾고 있던 그때 마침내 강력한 용의자가 제 발로 모습을 드러냈는데
Dr. Maudsley. I'm not sure if you remember me. It has been some time.
Oh, yes.
Might this be the person who attacked you?
Yes. Yes, I think it might.
모든 정황상 아니 의사의 눈으로 보았을 때조차 범인은 분명
Excuse me, but could you tell me, did you do these yourself?
정신 이상이 의심되는 이자벨의 소행처럼 보였죠.
Yes.
Mr. Angelfield, do you mind if I have a word with you in private?
하지만 끝내 찰리는 진실을 입 밖으로 내지 않았고 결국 이자벨은 정신병원으로 이송되고 맙니다. 이 일은 찰리에게도 큰 충격으로 다가왔죠.
Oh, Mr. Charlie.
한편 마거릿은 그날의 범인이 이자벨이 아닐지도 모른다는 생각이 들었습니다.
There's no woman in white in this house, Mum.
그렇다면 정말 소문대로 엔젤 필드에는 유령이 사는 것일까? 마거릿의 의문은 점점 커져만 갔죠. 그래서 그녀는 직접 엔젤 필드 저택 안으로 들어가 보기로 합니다. 그리고 그곳은 앞서 아델린이 말했던 것처럼 화재로 타버린 흔적들로 가득했죠. 잠시 후 그녀가 어느 한 방의 문을 열려던 순간 엔젤필드에서의 섬뜩한 경험 이후 다음날 아델린의 저택에서 인터뷰는 다시 이어졌습니다.
After they took Isabel off to the asylum, Charlie Angelfield went completely to pieces.
이자벨이 정신병원으로 보내진 뒤 찰리는 저택 안에 틀어박힌 채 은둔 생활을 시작했고, 이윽고 쌍둥이 자매의 운명을 뒤흔들게 된 문제의 인물이 엔젤필드로 도착했죠.
Dr. Moseley arranged through the family solicitor to appoint a governess to look after us. Her name was Hester Barrow.
Welcome to Angelfield.
물론 가정교사 없이도 잘 살아오던 자매에게 그녀는 달갑지 않은 존재였죠.
Now come along, girls. It's time you met your new governess. I am sorry, Miss Barrow.
Don't you worry, Mrs. Dunn. We have all the time in the world.
자매는 자신들이 끝까지 거부한다면 헤스터 역시 언젠가 떠날 거라 생각했지만
But she wasn't.
No. She was the first person who tried to take us on.
그녀는 결코 만만한 교사가 아니었습니다.
At the end of Hester's first day at the house, she'd already formed a stratagem for dealing with her as yet invisible charges.
No keys.
Emmeline? Adeline? Which one are you? Adeline or Emmeline?
Emmeline.
Are you hungry? Would you like some supper? And what about your sister?
헤스터는 쌍둥이를 길들이기 위해
Never mind. Let's go to the kitchen.
자매의 욕구와 행동을 통제하기 시작했고, 이에 강하게 반발한 아델린과 달리
Follow me.
동생 에멀리는 점차 그 규칙에 순응하기 시작했죠.
So, right from the start, Hester managed to drive a wedge between us. Although Emmeline continued to be pretty much of a pushover.
Well, a very good morning, Charlotte. Thank you so much. Very good of you to join us, I must say. We're starting the morning with a drawing of our beautiful Angelfield house. You're most welcome to stay down there if you're more comfortable. Adeline! Adeline, this behaviour will simply not be tolerated. Do you hear me? Do you hear me, Adeline?
그러던 어느 날 헤스터는 저택 안에서 설명할 수 없는 이상한 현상을 경험하게 됩니다.
Anyway, Hester didn't. Too sensible, poor thing. It would have been easier for her if she hadn't insisted on being so rational.
It's a bit of a palaver.
Emmeline?
She's out in the garden, miss.
I just saw her. That's strange. I could have sworn.
Was she wearing white, miss?
Yes, she was.
That'll be the ghost.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Mrs. Dunn. It's probably just the sunlight flashing in the mirror.
Woman in white, miss. We've all seen her.
Well, I haven't. And I certainly don't intend to.
헤스터 역시 흰옷을 입은 여자 유령을 목격했던 것이었죠. 하지만 헤스터는 조금도 개의치 않았습니다.
During that summer, Dr. Moseley visited a little more frequently than was perhaps medically necessary.
I'm at my wit's end with Adeline. She's an aggressive and dangerous child. She hardly eats anything. It takes two of us to hold her down at bath time. She seems impervious to any kind of human emotion.
Was she intelligent?
It's hard to tell given that she refuses to speak.
오히려 헤스터는 모즐리 박사와의 오랜 논의 끝에 아델린의 공격성을 억누르기 위한 조치라며 쌍둥이를 잠시 떼어놓자는 결정을 내리고 말았죠. 그렇게 에멀리는 엔젤필드 저택에 남게 되고
Oh my goodness, Emmeline.
아델린은 모즐리 박사의 집에서 당분간 지내게 되었죠.
Come in. Let me show you your room. You'll like it. Leave it all to yourself.
I tell you, no good will come of this.
하지만 쌍둥이의 상태는 나아지기는커녕 오히려 점점 더 악화되고 있었습니다.
They completely ignored the only and most obvious diagnosis. The twins were missing each other desperately.
Well, you correct her, you see, and she gets it right for a moment, but then she always goes back to saying we.
I'm afraid Adeline never speaks at all.
Oh, dear.
그리고 얼마 뒤 헤스터는 또 한 번 이상한 현상을 겪게 되죠.
I thought we'd agreed that the rooms not immediately in use should be kept locked.
Yes, that's right, miss.
Well, just now I found the drawing room open.
Not a bad idea to give it a bit of an airing.
Oh, so you opened it, did you?
Oh, no, miss. I don't have the keys anymore, remember? You've got the keys.
Why did you let Adeline out? Oh, that's impossible. I'm just seeing her this minute with Emmeline in the grounds.
Calm down. Here. Adeline has been here in this room this past hour. Ever since breakfast.
But I must be going mad.
그러던 중 모즐리 박사는 그만 헤스터와 눈이 맞아버리고 그 장면을 시오도라에게 들키고 맙니다.
I'll thank you to leave this house immediately. And send John for the child.
I can.
I'll speak to you later.
그 일로 인해 아델린은 다시 엔젤필드로 돌아갈 수 있게 되죠.
The next day, Hester had vanished. Packed her bag, slipped away, never seen again.
What happened to her?
I've no idea. The doctor had disappeared as well, so we can make an educated guess. Rumour was they'd disappeared to America, wherever it was. I'm sure they both flourished. Hester was a resourceful little thing.
하지만 아델린은 자신 없이도 잘 지내고 있던 에멀린을 보자 분노에 휩싸이고 맙니다.
Why did you do that?
I couldn't tell you. Over the next 5 or 6 years, in spite of strenuous efforts to maintain the status quo, Bit by bit, everything changed. First, a letter came from the asylum saying that Isabel had died of pneumonia. A week or so later, he noticed that Charlie had stopped touching the food that the missus had left for him. He'd gone. I had an idea where Charlie might be. I'd often followed him and watched what he did there with Isabel. I never said a word to the others.
If Master Charlie's gone, didn't we ought to tell someone?
No call to. I collect the money from the bank end of the month, same as always.
찰리의 죽음은 비극의 시작에 불과했습니다.
The missus was suffering from some kind of dementia, but we drifted on pretty much as we always had.
치매를 앓던 미시즈가 계단 아래로 추락해 목숨을 잃고 만 것. 그날 밤 인터뷰를 마치고 잠자리에 들려던 마거릿은 이상한 소리에 잠에서 깨어납니다. 바크는 정원 한가운데서 정체를 알 수 없는 노파가 헤매고 있었죠. 울부짖으며 미친 듯이 땅을 파헤치고 있던 노파. 마거릿은 직감합니다. 그녀가 에멀린일지도 모른다고.
Emmeline? Are you Emmeline?
그리고 마거릿의 예상은 틀리지 않았습니다. 그녀는 우연히 한 방으로 들어가는 아델린의 모습을 보게 되고, 아델린은 마거릿이 전날 목격했던 그 노파의 이마에 조심스레 입을 맞추었죠. 노파의 얼굴에는 짙은 화상 흉터가 남아있었고, 그 모습은 마치 아델린이 오랜 시간 동안 정성스럽게 그녀를 돌봐온 것처럼 보였습니다. 다음 날 계속되는 인터뷰.
Are you in a fit state to continue?
Yes, of course. We were talking about what happened after the missus died.
John brought in a local boy to help with the garden, Ambrose Proctor.
I don't see why we need him.
He's all right. Keeps himself to himself, works hard. Gives me a bit of time. What needs doing in the house.
아델린은 존에게 정원 가꾸는 법을 배우며 엔젤필드에는 오랜만에 평화가 깃들기 시작했죠. 하지만 그 평화는 오래가지 못했습니다.
Where's the ladder?
Mr. Digance took it. It's round the back fixing the guttering.
짐이 사다리에서 떨어져 그만 목숨을 잃고 만 것이었죠.
Obviously somebody had tampered with the safety catch.
Who?
We said no questions. After that, everything's a blur. I did have the presence of mind to tell the police that Uncle Charlie was away. After the funeral, we had a meeting with the family solicitor, Mr. Lomax.
So where exactly is your uncle?
Peru, I think.
Peru?
I believe so.
And when will he be back?
그렇게 엔젤필드에는
I'm not sure. Quite soon, anyway.
법적으로 성인이라 할 인물이 더 이상 남지 않게 됩니다.
You're 17 now, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
I'm just wondering what arrangements we can put in place to make sure that you and your sister are properly looked after.
We're quite used to fending for ourselves.
Yes,
But my grandmother knows the house very well. She can look in every day like.
다행히 엠브로즈의 할머니가 당분간 이들의 보호자가 되는 것으로 변호사를 돌려보냈지만
There's no need for your grandmother to trouble herself.
Well, that's lucky. Because I haven't got a grandmother.
사실 개뻥이었죠.
So who do you think killed John?
It certainly wasn't Emmeline, if that's what you're thinking. And Ambrose had no motive, quite the contrary.
Then
그 순간 마거릿의 머릿속을 스친 의문.
Agreed, no questions.
you got away with everything. I can't understand why the police didn't properly investigate John's death after all the...
I'll tell the story in my own way, Miss Lee.
설마 아델린의 자서전은
I think that's probably enough for today.
자신의 범행을 고백하는 고백록이었던 걸까? 마거릿은 혹시 자신이 살인자의 기록을 돕고 있는 건 아닐지 혼란에 빠지고 그녀의 발걸음은 어느새 다시 엔젤필드로 향하고 있었습니다. 그런데 지난번엔 황급히 도망치느라 보지 못했지만 이번엔 차분히 살펴보니 이 폐허 같은 저택 안에는 누군가 살고 있는 흔적이 남아있었죠. 마거릿은 이와 관련해 아델린의 주치인 클리프턴 박사에게 물어보기로 합니다.
Do you know if anyone's living at Angelfield?
He's called Aurelius Love. He's not quite right in the head, but he's totally harmless, bit of a local character. Works with his mother in the bakery.
그제야 마거릿은 자신이 보고 놀랐던 존재가 유령이 아닌 오렐리우스 러브라는 인물임을 깨닫게 되었죠.
Emmeline. Dr. Clifton tells me you've been asking questions about her. How did you find out?
I saw her one night in the garden and eventually worked out who she was.
I see.
I wanted to know why she was digging in the garden and what it was she kept saying all the time.
Any theories?
I think what she's saying is dead go underground.
마거릿이 노파, 아니 에멀린에 대해 이야기를 꺼내자 아델린은 애써 슬픔을 억누르는 듯 보였습니다.
Very good. Miss Lee, you're doing very well.
So she is looking for someone underground. Who could it be? A child?
아델린은 에멀린에 대한 이야기를 최대한 아꼈지만 한 가지는 분명했죠. 동생은 그녀가 눈을 감는 순간까지 함께 시간을 보내고 싶어하는 존재라는 걸. 다음날 다시 엔젤필드로 향한 마거린. 그런데 저택 앞에는 전날까지만 해도 없던 폴리스 라인이 출입을 통제하고 있었습니다. 그때 한 남자가 마거릿 곁으로 다가왔는데
You've been here before, haven't you?
바로
You're Aurelius.
오렐리우스였죠.
I frightened you when you came here. Didn't mean to.
No, it was my fault. I panicked. Didn't you live here?
No. I just used to camp out like. I live with me mum. I love this house.
그는 곧 저택으로 경찰이 들이닥친 이유를 설명해 주었습니다.
And what's going on down there?
Oh yeah. Funny thing. They found some bones. Skeleton.
바로 사람의 유골이 발견된 것이었죠. 그 말을 듣는 순간 엉켜있던 마거릿의 생각이 단번에 정리되기 시작했습니다.
I always thought of Emmeline as a twin. The twins were missing each other, desperate.
아델린은 쌍둥이가 아니라
There were three of you.
사실 세자매였던 것.
There were three of you. It wasn't just Adeline and Emmeline, there were three of you. There were police at Angelfield. They found a body, a skeleton.
하지만 오늘 아침
There were three of us, and now there's one of us.
에멀린은 세상을 떠났죠.
I'm so sorry, I got carried away.
이제 아델린은 이 이야기의 마지막 장, 숨겨져 있던 진실을 들려주려 합니다.
So, you see, There was a ghost at Angelfield all along. A ghost with no name.
사실 그녀는 아델린이 아니었죠.
It was me. Like it or not, I was the ghost.
Who was your mother?
Oh, I've no idea. All I do know is that when Isabel went away to have the twins, Charlie went on some kind of a rampage. What I do know is that I was born a few months later than the twins, and Charlie, God knows if it ever dawned on him, was the father of us all.
How did you get to Angelfield?
All I know is what John the Dig told me.
Which was what?
He started to notice his strawberries and his carrots were disappearing from his vegetable garden. And he thought he saw signs of someone sleeping in the potting shed. Also, this someone was not properly turning off the outside tap. John and the missus took me in. Oh, he did, really.
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Should we tell her?
And I spent as much the time as I could with him. He taught me how to read out of his seed catalogues. And of course, Adeline never even wanted to learn to read.
She was
genuinely dangerous, yes. Violence was always her first instinct. Finally, she killed John.
What made her do it?
She hated him. For some reason, she seemed to think he was responsible for taking her away from Emmeline that time, or perhaps she was jealous of all the attention he gave me. He was the closest I ever had to a real parent. After John's death, we were alone with Ambrose. I was never easy in my mind about him.
Don't you touch Emmeline, you hear me?
I haven't touched Emmeline.
Good. Well, don't.
It's not Emmeline I wants to touch, even though she's kinder than what you are.
Before long, it was obvious that Emmeline was pregnant, and I dismissed Ambrose. I decided not to ask for any help with delivering the baby. I read up for it as much as I could, so I was deluded. Adeline was insane, and Emmeline was helpless. All the same, somehow or other,
That's it, Emmeline, keep going.
we managed.
It's a boy, Emmeline. It's a boy.
I want to finish the story tonight. The wolf is at the door. It's time to tell you the 13th tale. I realized very early on how jealous Adeline was and how much she resented the baby. And before long I discovered the baby was in real danger. I knew I had to keep her under constant observation.
Emmeline!
It's the only time I've ever seen Emmeline fight back.
Saved the baby's life.
Yes. I left the baby outside the cottage belonging to the baker's widow, Mrs. Love. Everybody knew she had a kind heart.
Aurelius Love.
Yes. Turned out to be a bit simple but warm-hearted. Like his mother. When I got back to the house, of course, everyone assumed I was Adeline.
그렇게 베일에 쌓여있던 자신의 과거를 모두 털어놓은 아들린, 아니 엔젤필드의 유령은 그제야 고단했던 인생을 뒤로 한 채 마침내 편안히 눈을 감을 수가 있었습니다.
The wolf is in the room.
누구에게나 이야기가 존재합니다. 그리고 그 이야기 속에는 때로는 지울 수 없는 죄책감이 남아있기도 하죠. 그 죄책감을 오롯이 혼자서만 간직한다는 건 너무나 큰 고통일 것입니다. 그래서 그녀는 마침내 이야기를 남겼고 그 이야기는 더 이상 비밀이 아닌 채 세상으로 흘러갈 테죠. 죽음을 앞둔 작가, 그리고 아직 들려지지 않은 이야기, 그 안에 숨겨진 미스테리를 파헤치는 영화 13번째 이야기는 2006년 출간된 다이앤 세터필드의 데뷔소설 13번째 이야기를 원작으로 한 정통 고딕 미스터리입니다. 황량한 들판 위 홀로 서 있는 엔젤필드 저택을 배경으로 어른이 사라진 공간에서 방치된 쌍둥이 자매에게 벌어진 비극은 마치 슬픈 동화를 한편 읽어내려가는 듯 차분하고 안정적인 연출로 그려졌죠. 여기에 바네사 레드그레이브와 올리비아 콜먼의 흡입력 있는 연기는 자칫 연기 대결로 흐를 수 있는 장면들마저 한 폭의 그림처럼 또렷하게 완성해냅니다. 더불어 대사보다 이야기의 흐름으로 이끌어가는 전개 속에서도 영화는 단 한순간도 공백을 허용하지 않을 만큼 밀도 높은 몰입감을 유지하는데요. 그래서 원작을 접하지 않은 상태였음에도 이야기에 빠져들 수 있었습니다. 특히 마지막 반전은 단순한 이야기 바꿔치기를 넘어 영화 전체를 다시 돌아보게 만드는 깊은 울림과 여운을 남겼죠. 이야기가 끝난 뒤에도 엔젤필드의 계단 소리가 쉽게 사라지지 않았던 영화 13번째 이야기였고요. 저는 다음 영상에서 다시 찾아뵙겠습니다. 헬모비였습니다.